On July 3, 1503, Pierre d'Aubusson, the Grand Master of the Knights of Rhodes, passed away, concluding a remarkable life dedicated to the defense of Christendom and the governance of the knights. Born in 1423, d'Aubusson rose through the ranks of the knights, showcasing his stunning leadership and military skills, particularly during the Siege of Rhodes in 1480 against the Ottomans, earning him vast respect. His tenure began in 1476 when he was elected Grand Master. He fortified Rhodes, transforming it into a formidable bastion against Ottoman expansion and significantly enhancing the prestige of the order. d'Aubusson's diplomatic skills were equally remarkable. He secured crucial alliances that strengthened the efforts of the knights, forging relationships with European powers to combat the Ottoman threat. He faced treachery and conflicts within his own ranks, yet remained steadfast, proving his commitment through diplomacy and tactics that adapted to changing circumstances. His resolute leadership and effective governance led to an era of stability and prosperity for the knights, turning Rhodes into a significant center of maritime and military activity in the region. d'Aubusson initiated various building projects, including new fortifications, making Rhodes a formidable stronghold against naval assaults and ensuring the safety of its inhabitants. He also promoted cultural patronage, encouraging arts and education, which flourished during his leadership, enhancing the social fabric of the knights' community. Pierre d'Aubusson's exploits were not without challenge. He faced plagues and resource shortages, yet his strategic foresight always found a way to navigate through adversity. As time advanced, d'Aubusson's age began to show. However, he remained a symbol of unwavering strength and the spiritual leader that the knights needed during turbulent times. On his deathbed, d'Aubusson reflected on the legacy he left behind, particularly how he had prepared the Knights of Rhodes for the challenges that lay ahead, ensuring their resilience. His death marked the end of an era for the knights, yet his steadfast spirit resonated through the halls of Rhodes long after he had passed, an enduring legacy of bravery. His influence persisted. Future leaders of the knights often referenced his tactics and diplomacy as models for their own roles in securing the order's interests. The legacy of Pierre d'Aubusson also extended to his appreciable impact on laid principles of chivalry and governance that many later military orders would adopt. The Knights of Rhodes would recall tales of d'Aubusson's courage during the Siege of Rhodes as they faced subsequent assaults, using his strategies to bolster morale. Over the years, statues dedicated to his memory would rise in various parts of Europe, celebrating him as both a leader and a bulwark against Ottoman dominance. Future grandmasters would aspire to emulate d'Aubusson's strategic acumen, ensuring that his teachings remained integral to the knightly order's doctrines. D'Aubusson's life became a celebrated narrative taught in chivalric schools that highlighted heroism, honor, and sacrifice, forming the ideals of future generations of knights. Politically, his diplomacy laid early groundwork for later peace treaties and alliances in the Mediterranean, showcasing the lasting significance of his contributions in governance. The garrison of Rhodes would often recite his commands as mantras in preparation for their defenses, ensuring their resolve remained strong against future sieges. Additionally, his role as a chronicler of history influenced how the knights recorded their exploits, ensuring a rich narrative of their journey through trials and triumphs. Centuries later, historians would examine d'Aubusson's tactical innovations in warfare as pivotal in shaping military practices, crowning him a visionary leader of his time. In modern times, descendants of the knights have often drawn inspiration from d'Aubusson in both cultural and social initiatives aiming to promote unity and peace. Pierre d'Aubusson was born in 1423 in France, a time of political upheaval and conflict. His early years shaped his character, instilling a sense of duty and commitment to the Church and Christendom. His education was cloaked in chivalric ideals, reinforced by the tales of valorous knights. This foundation prepared him for a life committed to the knights and a future marked by significant battles. In his youth, d'Aubusson joined the Knights of St. John, driven by a strong desire to protect Christian territories from Islamic expansion, particularly against the Ottomans. In 1480, d'Aubusson demonstrated brilliant military strategy during the Ottoman siege of Rhodes, where he united the knights and rallied local forces to resist overwhelming odds. He coordinated the defense remarkably, showcasing his leadership qualities as he inspired troops and maintained their morale against the relentless Ottoman siege. Following the successful descents, d'Aubusson was elected Grand Master in 1476, whereby he initiated extensive fortifications that would secure Rhodes' strategic position further. Amidst securing Rhodes, he reached out to European monarchs for alliances, emphasizing diplomacy, which became a hallmark of his leadership and strategy. D'Aubusson also published a code of conduct for the knights, reinforcing the values of chivalry, valor, and loyalty, which guided the order's conduct for generations. He fostered a rich cultural environment during his tenure, promoting the arts, education, and the construction of buildings that reflected the order's glory. He maintained order among the knights, addressing issues of loyalty and discipline, which were crucial in times of both peace and war. As he aged, d'Aubusson faced personal challenges, including declining health, yet he remained a steadfast leader until his final days, inspiring those around him. In his last moments, d'Aubusson reaffirmed his commitment to the order, giving final instructions to his trusted allies as he prepared for his imminent passing. Pierre d'Aubusson died on July 3, 1503, in the Grand Master's chamber at the Palace of the Grand Master, leaving behind a legacy of valor and resilience. His death resonated throughout Europe, prompting conversations about his military tactics and the role of the knights in defending Christendom from future threats. Historians regarded his life as pivotal in understanding the development of military strategies and the conduct of chivalry during the late medieval period. D'Aubusson's influence continued in the teachings and conduct of subsequent Grand Masters, who sought to emulate his strength and diplomacy in the face of adversity. His stories of bravery and diplomacy were woven into the fabric of knightly education, serving as paradigms for future leaders of the order. The Peace of Lodi between various Italian city-states also bears the influence of d'Aubusson's diplomatic efforts, serving as a template for future treaties in the region. Through time, his legacy became a symbol of courage and tenacity, serving as a muse for artists and writers who depicted his life and exploits in their works. Cultural and social initiatives across Europe, inspired by his principles, emerged, promoting values of unity and peace among diverse communities descended from the knights. Recent historical reviews emphasize d'Aubusson's strategic foresight, which transcended battle tactics, impacting policies on diplomacy and defense in modern military histories. His death on July 3rd holds significant meaning in the annals of the Knights, marking the transition to a new era while influencing the order's enduring legacy. As generations passed, stories of d'Aubusson's life were retold, ensuring that future leaders remembered the importance of strength, diplomacy, and the dedication to a greater cause. The ideals d'Aubusson embodied became central to the Renaissance revival of chivalric principles, influencing the arts and culture of the time as well. Pierre d'Aubusson lives on, not just in military textbooks, but also in various forms of artistic representations. nodding to his complex character and significant life. His moral legacy continues to inspire not just within military contexts, but in broader discussions about ethics, governance, and leadership principles in contemporary society. In 1423, Pierre d'Aubusson was born in France during a time of political and military turbulence, as Europe faced challenges from both internal conflicts and the expanding Ottoman Empire. Growing up, d'Aubusson was influenced by the ideals of knighthood, instilling in him a profound sense of honor and duty towards protecting Christendom. D'Aubusson joined the Knights of St. John, dedicating his life to the defense of Christian territories against growing Ottoman threats, distinguishing himself through valor and intellect. By the late 1470s, he emerged as a formidable leader, commanding respect for his decisive actions during the Ottoman siege of Rhodes in 1480. His notable military strategies during the siege allowed the knights to withstand months of assault, showcasing his exceptional leadership from 1480 onward. In recognition of his pivotal role, d'Aubusson was elected Grand Master of the Knights of Rhodes in 1476, embodying the qualities of leadership and courage. As Grand Master, he implemented key fortifications on Rhodes, solidifying the island's defenses against anticipated Ottoman retribution. D'Aubusson also prioritized forming alliances with European powers, establishing treaties, ensuring aid against the Ottoman threat while promoting chivalric values. His published code of conduct for the knights emphasized the importance of chivalry, reinforcing moral integrity among the soldiers. As he advanced in age, d'Aubusson faced internal intrigue and dissent among the knights, but managed to maintain their cohesion and effectiveness. Despite his health declining, d'Aubusson continued to engage with his knights and nurture their morale, exemplifying unwavering dedication until his final days. On July 3, 1503, Pierre d'Aubusson passed away, leaving behind a fortified Rhodes and a legacy recognized across Europe. And news of his death traveled swiftly, resonating far beyond Rhodes, symbolizing the end of an era in the struggle against Ottoman expansion. D'Aubusson's military strategies and ideals of chivalry influenced future leaders, establishing a legacy that went beyond his generation. His life and actions inspired numerous artistic representations, from paintings to literature, ensuring that his story was immortalized. In the years following his death, treaties reflecting his principles emerged, promoting peace efforts and collaborations against common threats. Contemporary discussions on ethics and governance often cite d'Aubusson's commitment to chivalric values, enhancing his historical significance. D'Aubusson's legacy transcends military tactics. It embodies the values of unity and collaboration that are especially pertinent to modern challenges. Cultural and social initiatives across Europe have drawn on d'Aubusson's ideals of unity, peace, and cooperation, establishing foundations that align with his legacy. His vision on chivalry and justice remains a guiding principle for various knightly orders and organizations, ensuring that his impact continues to be felt. As a symbol of courage and unity, d'Aubusson is remembered not just as a military leader, but as a pivotal figure in the Christian crusades against the Ottomans. D'Aubusson's achievements live on in the annals of history, inspiring future generations in the complexities of leadership, ethics, and cooperation.